Hello YouTube, this is the Java Programmer, and last video we wrote a bunch of code for displaying a chart. However, we never actually tested it or looked at it. So this video, the first thing we're going to do here is we're going to look at this chart and see if it shows us the bars on the screen based on the data that we got. This disclaimer is that if you use this software to do Forex trading, you will lose money. Don't rely on anything that you see in this video because you most likely will lose money. Don't trust anything that you see in this video about trading or the possibility of making money because most likely you will lose money. This software will cause you to blow out your account. So the person behind writing this software cannot be held liable for any harm that you might incur to yourself by using the software. And if I haven't said it already, in using this software, you probably will lose money and you will not have any when you're done using this software. So this is the disclaimer. This happens to be a Tuesday. Let's run our program one more time. Our test rates. See if we are still connected and everything's working. Connecting into Oanda. Oh, there we go. So here is, we're still getting our rates. So if we look at our test program, we see that we have a linked list history. And basically what we do is when we get that history, we print it out. But instead of printing it out in this form, I want to create a chart. Now, last video, we created a chart class for doing just this. So I'm going to say OH, this my chart, yes, chart equals new chart, give it a chart name, let's see, history chart. And we're going to pass in bars. In this case, bars is actually history. So, let's see if it works. We just printed it out. Now let's give this a try. I have no idea if it's going to work or not, but I'm pretty confident. Ah, look at that. It worked, except for it brought it in on my other screen. So I'm going to go get it and bring it over to this screen. So look at that. There is our chart. So you can see the volumes here on the chart. This was a very big day on the October 20th. I don't know what happened. I haven't been following the Forex market recently. So that was last week. And then today we see right now, or I should say the current bar is right here. Now, one of the things that's cool about this chart is you can zoom in, see exactly what's going on. So here's the current bar. This would be so this bar here represents the 6 o'clock to 7 o'clock bar. And this bar here represents the, whoops, let's zoom back in on that. So this bar here represents the 7 o'clock. These are 1 hour bars. So right now it is 7:15, which puts us right about here. So this bar represents the last 15 minutes of data. So let's close stop our program. You see when we close the chart, the program quit. We are looking at basically 1 week's worth of data. We took 24 hours times 7, and we're looking at 1 hour. So let's look at something a little more recent. So let's look at 1 minute worth of data, 1 minute chunks, and let's look at 60 minutes times 24 hours. So we're going to look at minute intervals across the last 24 hours. Let's run this. see if our history looks correct. It brought it up on the other screen. Here we go. And that looks about right. Let's zoom in here at the end. And as you see, here's 7 to 7:15. It looks like it just turned over to 7:16 when I ran this. So the next thing we want to do is we want to see this updating in real time. So what we want to do is we have this client, we have the ability here for this client to get history. But let's do this. Let's create this variable, and we're going to say history equals that, but we're going to say while true, basically loop forever. We are going to let's do this. Chart equals null. We can say if chart is equal to null, chart equals new chart. Else, what we're going to do is we're just going to say chart.update, and we're going to pass it in our history. Now that's great. However, we've not implemented this update method. We wrote it, but here it is empty. So let's write this update method out. And then what we can do, let's go back to our program real quick and say, okay, while true, then we're going to do a thread.sleep. I'm going to sleep for 10 seconds. Let's see, yeah, 10 seconds. And good old Java always wants us to, we're just going to add it to the exception here. So the program throws an interrupted exception. So we're going to sleep for 10 seconds, and then we're going to update. So the chart should update every 10 seconds. We need to actually have the update method do something. So fortunately, the update method is simpler than the method we wrote, and most of it we actually already have. So this code here happens to be all the same, so we're just going to take that and we're going to paste it in down here. And then actually we can use this data set line also. And then the last thing we want to do is we're just going to say chart.get xy plot dot set dataset. So we set the dataset to this new dataset that's created here. Now we need a chart name, and we have one here from earlier, but we never actually created a variable for it. So private string chart name, and here we're going to say this dot chart name equals chart name. And then that becomes available down here. So that should be it as far as our update method goes. So let's run this again and see if we get updates every 10 seconds. Again, put it over my other window. So I'm going to zoom in. So here is our method. You can see it says that it was 7:21. Should have just updated. I'm not seeing any updates. Oh, there it is. That's not what I want. So what's nice about this chart is that I can zoom out both axes. I think I auto range. That's what I want. And let's see if we can get an update. So if we look down here, 43, 46, 49, should be seeing an update to this chart. But let's see. So let's think about this. The chart that I'm showing is the 1 minute chart. So that means that even though I'm updating every 10 seconds, I'm actually not going to get a change to the chart, but only once a minute because it's a minute chart. So the last bar is still the same, and the new bar is not going to change until the minute interval is up, and then it will actually draw that chart. So, or I'm sorry, draw that bar. So here we have, wait a couple more minutes, a couple more seconds. There you go. You see that? It just jumped in one more spot. Apparently, in this case, our prices had not changed. Oh, there we go. The price finally updated. So if we left this chart going all the time, this chart would eventually fill up as the price moved around. So it looks like we have our update working. I'm going to try one more thing here. Instead of doing a minute chart, let's do I think it's let's do a 10-second chart. And 60 times 24 is quite a bit. So we have 10 seconds. So we need 6 of those for a minute times 60 minutes. So this should be 1 hour worth of 10-second data. So let's run this and see what we get. And this should update every 10 seconds. Again, it put it on the other screen. So there's our chart. Now let's look at over here at the end. Yep, there we got an update. It drew it. I don't know that we got actually an update on price yet. Looks like we got another update. This is Tuesday night. I believe I'm in between the markets, so I think things are kind of slow at the moment. And you can see this chart happens to be updating. We've had, I think, 3 updates. Oh, there's a 4th one. So you can see this chart is now updating real time. So in our next video, I know this is not anything to do about charts, or what we're trying to, our goal has nothing to do about charts, but this is going to help us hugely be able to debug whether or not the signals that are getting generated are correct or not. So thanks for watching. This is the Java Programmer, and stay tuned.